Turf Moor in Lancashire, the home of Burnley Football Club since 1883, making it the second longest continuously used ground in English professional football. Bristol City have made the 207-mile journey up north to face the Clarets, and after a much heralded performance on Wednesday night, which many say didn't reflect the final scoreline, Nigel Pearson's men are ready to try and claim 3 points on the road. Victory this afternoon would cap an impressive start to the season and take City above Burnley in the league table, and there is no doubt that Nigel Pearson will be eager to see his side kick on and tighten up at the back to ensure his side have the best possible chance of a fruitful season ahead. Good afternoon and welcome to Robins TV, live from our new home here at Ashton Gate. Joining me for this one is former City defender and now multi-millionaire financial consultant Chris Honor. Chris, welcome to the show. What do you think of our new home?
Oh, it's absolutely amazing. It looks great. Very professional and, an improvement on the last one. But that was, the other one was obviously great, but this is even better. It looks fabulous.
Famous table. I really want that in my garden now, the famous table with a slightly dirty tablecloth. But let's move on. We've got our new home now. Let's talk about the football. Ignore the scoreline from Wednesday night for a moment, but what a game.
I thought it was excellent. Just bitterly disappointing how we possibly gave away 2 goals early on and then we were chasing the game, but thereafter I thought we looked very good. Probably the best football we've played all season and for many years. It was just exciting stuff, and it was just a shame we couldn't get an equaliser towards the end.
We've just got to stop conceding goals, right?
Given teams like Norwich a two-goal head start is a difficult one to follow. So, yeah, absolutely. Cut out the mistakes, keep playing the way we're playing, and hopefully we can grab 3 points or even a point up at Turf Moor today. The
fact that Bents, though, didn't have to make a save for 73 minutes in that game is incredible and just shows the progress.
Yeah, again, we'd conceded a couple of goals by then, so the damage was already done. But at the same time, Bents was very good thereafter. There was a couple of counter-attacks that he did really well to spread his body and made a couple of great saves in front of Pookie in the 6-yard box. But Bristol City had the majority of possession. They looked sharp, they looked quick, they had a great desire. They looked as if they had penetration through the lines. I just thought we looked an excellent side, and I'm really excited for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I mean, tough week though. Both ex-Premier League sides from last season. Burnley unbeaten in 6 for today. It's going to be a tough gig.
Well, when the fixture list came out, it was the 2 games that I saw which made me feel slightly nervous because, we weren't showing great form from the back end of last year. It was okay, it was a bit patchy, but the way we're playing at the moment, I've got no fears. Genuinely, if we can give Norwich such a tough game on Tuesday night as we did, Wednesday night, sorry, I've got no fears going up to Turf Moor, and hopefully we can turn it on and, do the fans proud and come away with something today.
Great stuff. All right, Chris, for now, thank you very much. Let's hope Turf Moor is Chris Honor's happy place, as well as that bloke from Radio 1. Right, let's get the latest on the team news now. As ever, a man with no U in his surname. Here's Toby Osborne.
Thank you very much, Downsy. Yes, Conway and Semenyo were on target again versus the Canaries. Bristol City's attack, now the most potent in the Championship, but are 2 of the longest away days this season inside pretty much 48 hours. Too much to ask of an unchanged side. Let's find out. First up, though, it's Burnley. Vincent Kompany has fresh injury concerns himself. 2 changes with club stalwart Charlie Taylor out. In comes Borussia Mönchengladbach loanee Jordan Bayer to replace him. The other switch is at left back with summer signing Vitinho missing out. Chelsea loanee Ian Matson fills in, who incidentally was sent off against City last season whilst on loan at Coventry. We won't dwell on the result that day. Cork and Cullen will marshal midfield, and beyond then Manuel and Teller flank a familiar face in Josh Brownhill. Let's hope he doesn't haunt Bristol City today as he approaches 100 games for the Clarets, and he lines up in the pocket just behind Jay Rodriguez, a man we're also very familiar with. He has 4 goals to his name so far this season. As for the Reds, well, it's an unchanged side for the 4th game in a row. Naismith will be determined to put in a bright performance today following a couple of unforced errors on Wednesday. He has Viner and Atkinson alongside him, the latter particularly impressive at Carrow Road. Some suggestion Pearson might look to freshen up midfield, but James keeps his spot alongside Scott. Bristol City are the league's top scorers, as we know, so why change anything in an attacking sense? Vyman remains in support of Conway and Wells. Semenyo will have to settle for the bench again, despite averaging a goal for every 30 minutes of football so far this season. No change across the bench either. It was Williams and his quick thinking that set up the second on Wednesday, and Martin enjoyed a late stretch of the legs as well. So let's hear from an optimistic Nigel Pearson at Turf Moor.
Nigel, you've named the same team for the fourth successive game. You obviously saw what you saw at Norwich.
Yeah, and it's more as well to do with the fact that the players have recovered well. So there's no reason to make tweaks to the side in terms of selection. So yeah, let's go again and make sure that we can or endeavour to produce another really positive performance, because to finish going into the international break with a win would be really good for us.
900 miles in 4 days for players, staff and fans, obviously. Yeah. What do you want to see from your team today?
The same positive mentality without the mistakes. So look, the game at Norwich was a frustration for us that we didn't come away with anything. And yeah, there was lots of positive things on the night. But if we're going to be serious contenders, we've really got to make the most of those types of performances by picking points up. And to be fair to us so far this year, we've done that pretty well. But the championship season is one long, tough one, and you've got to be able to reproduce positive performances and get results under different types of circumstances. So that's where we'll be judged. I do think that today.
Go well today, Nigel.
Okay, cheers, thanks.
Nigel Pearson chatting to Dave Barton there on the touchline up at Turf Moor. Nigel saying there that we have to be able to repeat those positive performances. I think Bristol City have been accused of, perhaps some inconsistencies in previous seasons, but it feels like that maybe we're losing that tag a bit now.
Yeah, I was very interested with some of the things he said. He did mention the positive mentality and coming away from Norwich without anything. I mean, he was obviously referring to the points, but personally, I think we came away with quite a lot from that game. We actually discovered that we could go toe-to-toe with a very good Norwich team who are favourites to go up, and we from that we should gain some confidence. Interesting comments from Nigel always, because there's always he plays everything down. He doesn't get too excited when we win. He doesn't get too down when we lose. I'm sure deep down he's very angry not angry but disappointed at some of the mistakes we made. I find him really intelligent in the way he speaks, and I wish he'd been one of my bosses over the years, because I just get this impression he gets the most out of his players, and he's very steadying, and he's got that little bit of a calm about him, and I think he's building something for Bristol City at the moment.
Let's hope so. All right, Chris, thanks very much for now. Let's turn our attention to Bristol City women now, who are absolutely flying the Robins flag high at the moment. 3 wins from 3 so far this season. Absolutely incredible. Now ahead of their clash with Sunderland tomorrow at the HPC. Robins TV caught up with original City Academy product Emily Syme.
Emily, back at home this weekend here at the Robins High Performance Centre. Sunderland in town. After a weekend off, I can imagine the girls are itching to get back to it.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's good. We've got a kind of extra weekend to really prepare and really focus for this game, but everyone's really, excited to get back playing again. Missed it.
Missed it indeed. Obviously, the last game was here against Blackburn Rovers. You scored on your return home. I can imagine you're looking forward to getting back in front of the fans.
Yeah, definitely. The fans were great against Blackburn. I think we had quite a good turnout. Could really hear them from the pitch. So to get my first goal as well in front of everyone was great.
How have you kind of found that period, obviously coming in throughout pre-season, settling back into life at Bristol City?
Yeah, I've enjoyed it so far. The girls have been really welcoming, really great. I think I've settled in nicely. It's a lovely facility. Really great to kind of have such a high level of staff, such a high level of facility really. So to get back in and scoring and playing is brilliant.
Seems as though there's a real cohesiveness about the group at the moment. Everybody's singing from the same hymn sheet, which is vital, isn't it?
Yeah, I think everyone's on the same page. Everyone knows what we want to do, how we want to do it. And I think when we hit moments of adversity throughout the season, I think we've got that environment and that culture that we can get through it as a team. And yeah, morale's really high, but I think we're all right at this point.
Yeah. 2 games in, obviously, game postponed at the weekend. I can imagine the group will really want to pick up where they left off and kind of build momentum as we get into a good run of games.
Yeah, definitely, with international as well. Kind of a few of the girls were away on that, and then to have the game postponed this weekend has kind of meant that we've had a few weeks where we haven't been playing competitive games. So to get kind of the flow and get game, week on week is going to be really great. Find a bit of consistency, hopefully getting us performing better. And yeah, it'll be really good to get a bit of regular kind of games now.
Sunderland in town, they've probably not had the ideal start to the season. Draw with Durham and then a loss to Birmingham City. They'll be chomping at the bit to come here and turn us over, won't they?
Yeah, absolutely. We're focused on each game at a time, and I think at this point we're focusing on performing ourselves, making sure that every team we show up and we perform how we know we can. So I think for Sunderland, we're as kind of excited to get in and playing as they will be.
Emily Syme chatting there to George West. Your tickets at bcfc.co.uk, and good luck to City Women taking on Sunderland tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock. Right, still to come, we head back to the 90s for a classic game at Turf Moor, and Jada Silva and Zach Viner tell us all about their teammates. And of course, for the overseas viewers, it's all about the action from Turf Moor from 3 o'clock. We'll see you in a couple of ticks.
Might not wanna get close. We a little wild war, covered in tattoos. Run it up, taking all the views. Stepping up place, feeling the fear. I know you feeling it in the air. Whole squad wearing all black. Motivation's looking real bad. We back to the bone, raising a fire alone. We ain't never needed nobody. Give me 6 feet, this is my party. Ain't got no feelings, we heartless. Take a peek inside the darkness. Blow up the spot, then we run it. Ready or not, here we coming.
When the red robin comes bobbing along.
The Robins, who this season have gone bobbing along right into the 2nd division of the English Football League.
The Robins.
If you've ever been to Ashton Gate in Bristol, you'll know that is the signature tune of Bristol City, the Robins.
So we've got all this outdoor space here, and it's perfect for companies to come in, whether they're small or large. So we cater for maybe a team of 12 or a team of 800. They can come here, have a really positive experience, and be rewarded for all their hard work in the office or whatever industry they're from.
As we've got such a big company, a lot of us don't see each other.
Being able for the first time to get everyone out together in one place doing an activity together was great for team bonding and boosting that morale.
We can hone in on specific skills such as communication, leadership, teamwork, resilience. Here we've got a 400-metre military assault course, which is fantastic for team building. If you want a morale booster, this is the place to come.
Welcome back to Robins TV ahead of Bristol City taking on Burnley. More from Chris Honor on the way in just a couple of ticks. But first of all, Jada Silva and Zach Viner talking teammates.
Right, Zach, Jay, teammates, you know the drill. I'll ask you a question about the squad, and together you have to decide who fits the bill.
Yes.
Who's the nice guy in the team, looks out for everyone?
Nice guy. It's quite bad that we can't just straight away go to
Yeah, I know, it's not many. It's not many.
You can include yourselves.
I'd probably say, can you?
Yeah, no, that's a good shout, to be fair. He's always like looking after everyone.
Yeah.
The younger lads as well, you know, putting his arm around them and that.
Who's the best trainer in the squad? Puts in the extra hours before and after training, maybe?
No chance. No chance. I'm going to put out there Han Noah.
Yeah.
He's in the gym all the time.
Yeah, I'll say Han as well.
Trying to drag him in.
Probably after me, but I'll say Han.
Han's number one. Jay's probably about 13th in the team, if we're going to do a list.
The worst trainer in the squad, but puts in a big shift on that match day.
Andy Vyman,
easy. If you didn't say the last bit, it would have been tough. But when you say puts in a big shift on the weekend,
yeah,
Andy Vyman.
Andy Vyman.
Now a bit more casual. Who has the worst dress sense in the squad? And you can also include yourselves, of course.
Nah, we're miles away from that.
Yeah. Nah.
Right, I know you have a name in your head.
God.
He's your boy.
Gotta be Joe Williams, isn't it?
Has to be.
It's gotta be Joe Williams.
He's worn some trainers the last couple of weeks that are miles
Very
off.
questionable.
Miles off.
Okay, Joe Williams. So, who is the biggest baller at the club?
No chance.
I don't know, we've got some ballers, man.
No one really throws out like mad skills all the time. I'm gonna say in training maybe Scotty. He loves a little step over shift.
Yes. Yeah,
Ants.
Scotty, Ants.
Han loves a little roulette, doesn't he? Always doing a little Zidane twirl.
Probably Scotty at Ants, innit?
Yeah. Jay loves a little shimmy, but it's like his whole body's just shaking.
Yeah, works though. Works. It works for me. It works for me.
Works for him. Right.
Yeah, it works for me.
Cool.
So you're both defenders. Who's the hardest to defend against?
Ants.
Yeah, Ants.
Well, I'm gonna say Ants.
Ants, yeah, Ants fine.
And who is the manager's favourite?
Andy's got to be in it.
Yeah. Which one?
Oh yeah, I'd probably say like.
Could be Kingy. It could be. Andy
it's got to be Andy Vyman, innit?
Yeah, I'll probably say Andy Vyman.
We know who wants to be the funniest in the squad, but who do you actually think is the funniest in the squad?
See, Jay's pretty funny. Though.
Yeah, we got some funny.
No, Jay's pretty funny. Kane's quite funny.
Yeah, we're just gonna say our friends, innit? Because we always haven't.
No, it's true. Yeah, Tim's funny, but in his own unique way.
Yeah, Tim Closer probably. He's funny. He's just a weirdo, isn't he? I'd say Kane, man. Kane's too funny.
Yeah, Kane.
Viner and Jada Silva chatting teammates there to Robins TV reporter Ed Paquet. Right, 1996, Cool Britannia, 3 Lions at the Euros and the Spice Girls' first ever single. Oh, and City banging some goals in at Turf Moor. Let's take a look.
And there were just 12 minutes gone when Sean Goater gave another indication that he's a bargain buy at £175,000. Watch how Joe Jordan's summer signing made space out of nothing to score his 6th goal of the season. Next, it was Goater turning provider for Greg Goodridge, whose shot brought a smart save from Marlon Beresford. But there was a shock for City just before the break as Nigel Gleghorn headed the equaliser. Jordan's men continued to prove vulnerable at set pieces, and again the marking was slack. Burnley might even have snatched the lead before the interval, as their own prolific marksman Kurt Nogan was just off target. In fact, the home side did go in front in the second half after Stuart Naylor had failed to get enough distance on his clearance. Paul Weller strode through to be denied by a post, but the reprieve proved momentary. When the ball was crossed back in, Weller was still in yards of space, and this time the finish was clinical. Again, City's defenders were caught ball watching, as Weller gave Naylor no chance. Martin Cool, sent on as a substitute for Goodridge, began a move which almost brought City an equaliser. Paul Agostino was crowded out before Gota's shot brought a deflection and a fine save. Afterwards, Jordan praised the character of his team for weathering a second-half storm and bouncing back with a spirited effort. Gary Hours and Brian Tinian helped create the space for Darren Barnard to produce a pinpoint cross, and Gota did the rest. That's 4 goals in the last 2 league games for City's new marksman. It was the other Sean who settled the result, as Sean Taylor chose the perfect moment to net his first goal in City colours. The former Swindon player promised goals from corners when he arrived at Ashton Gate. This could be the first of many. City sent on a second substitute as Kevin Nugent took over from Agostino and almost grabbed a 4th goal after some patient approach play near the end. Matt Hewlett is showing an increasing tendency to move forward into scoring positions from midfield. And from Nugent's knockdown, it took Beresford's hand and a goal line clearance from Chris Finicum to deny him. When Naylor comfortably fielded a last-gasp header from Mark Winstanley, City could celebrate their first away success in the league since April. That made the 3 points all the sweeter for manager Jordan and the travelling faithful, as it finished Burnley 2, Bristol City 3.
Oh my word, we were just chatting to Chris here about the ball. It just looked so much heavier back in 1996.
Yeah, and I got to agree with all that grainy footage. It just seems really weird, but, you know, reminiscing back to kind of my era. I mean, some of those guys who I played with, and, you know, when I left just before some of those came to the club, Gary Hours was there, he's looking fit and well. There was Brian Tinian, Sean Taylor, I mean, some great names from past, and yeah, it was a great victory, and hopefully we get one like that again this afternoon.
Stuff. All right, Chris, for now, thank you very much. In the meantime, we do have to say goodbye very shortly to our viewers on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you so much for everybody for tuning in. Don't forget, of course, if it's not Saturday at 3 o'clock, then we will be able to show you Robins TV to our domestic viewers. But